they've thrown a few guys at him. Sean Roden's got a sniff at second place. Dexter Jackson. Last year we had Big Ramy. None of those guys had the tools to take him out, even when Phil was off. So he's gifted with some genetics that the other guys just don't have. So on an off day, Phil still has enough to simply win. The question will remain tonight, that with Sean Roden's improvements of yesterday, from last year, Phil has left the door slightly open. There's not a whole lot more Phil can do with his frame. He's maxed out going for that number 8.
Well, Amanda, you know a thing or two about bodybuilding. Of course, you're married to an elite professional bodybuilder who's going to be competing on this stage tonight, Steve Kuklo. And give us a sense for what the fans are thinking. I know you talk to the fans, you read social media, you know what people are thinking. Is there an anticipation coming into tonight about the possibility that Phil could match the record, or even the other possibility that we could see the crowning of our 14th Olympia champion?
Well, I think there's both, Dan. You know, you always root for the underdog, and then as soon as the underdog becomes the champion, it's like you're almost waiting for the champion to be thrown. So it's really kind of both ways. You have those people that are like, Phil's the king, he'll win, but then you have the other people that are equally going, get rid of him, we want a new champ. So people are fickle. You know, it's almost like they're going to be supportive, and then as soon as you do one false step, it's like they're going to look, you know, they're, again, fickle. So we'll see what happens tonight. He's got half of the crowd cheering for him and half the crowd cheering against him. But the thing is the other half that are cheering against him are for Sean Roden, but they're also split between Rolly Winkler. They're split between Big Ramy. So they're kind of all over the place. So we'll see what happens tonight. The crowd's going to be crazy, double what it was last night. So it's exciting to see, and the energy, you can already feel it.
Sean, let's get into this real fast. Now, we came into this weekend looking at Mamadou Asbie, Big Ramy as the leading contender, coming off his runner-up finish a year ago, rightfully so. And so we showed up. I want you to talk about what he brought and also what Sean Roden brought, because there is all sorts of talk throughout Las Vegas that Sean Roden has given Phil Heath just about all he can handle.
Yeah, it would have been a lot for Big Ramy to improve on what he brought last year. We saw the very best that Ramy had to offer up until that point of his career. This time he supersized it. Went for a little bit more mass than he probably should have, and didn't have the detail to be in the hunt, especially against a guy like Sean Roden, who came in off last year. All Sean had to do was dry up a little bit, harden up, tighten up, and he had a full year to do that. And he pretty much felt like he was written off from a year ago. And he, with a renewed vigor, tightened up, dried up, did a few things differently, and he's here again like he was a couple years back fighting for the title. And he knows what it's like to take second. And Phil obviously knows what it's like to lose. He's lost a couple too. But once you've won the title as much as Phil has won, losing to someone like Sean Roden, he's not going to be happy with that. So I know that Phil's going to do everything in his power from yesterday to dry up. But I can tell you, this is as close as it's going to get for Sean. He's a 40-plus bodybuilder. If he tightens up a little bit more from yesterday, it's going to be tough for Phil to hang on to that title.
Well, we're going to break down the entire lineup throughout the night. Of course, we're going to crown a Mr. Olympia champion, a Bikini Olympia champion, and we're also going to crown a 212 Olympia champion, which is a whole nother storyline in and of itself, as James Flex Lewis makes his way to Vegas this weekend looking for his 7th title, which of course he's already the most decorated 212 champion of all time. He announced coming into the weekend that this would be his final event in this division. We don't really know what he's going to do next. Give us your take on what he showed us last night as he looks to retain the title.
I mean, I think he did enough to win last night. He was a little better than he was last year. And again, they didn't throw a whole lot more new challenges at him. Ashkenani didn't deliver, especially in the lower leg department. He is being challenged by a couple of guys, and of course, Derek Lunsford has vastly improved. I think he's a little bit too young and immature to battle with Phil, or with James Flex Lewis, but I think his announcement for retiring from this division, I'm looking for him to move into the open, because if he's in the open division, he may be battling it out for the top 3. He certainly has enough to be in that lineup, especially condition-wise, here tonight.
Now, on the bikini side, the Bikini Olympia, of course, Angelica Teixeira comes in as the defending champion. Pre-judging was held yesterday. Give us a quick sense of what we should look at in that event.
Well, you know, she's definitely top 2, because at pre-judging yesterday, they basically pulled out her and one other girl. So at the end, they added a 3rd girl. So you almost know going in yesterday where your top 3 is. But of course, top 10 gets to perform. This lineup, not only has it grown in competitors, it's also grown in competition. It used to be where there was 24 girls, and maybe it's easy to clearly see a top 5, top 6. Now, you really can't just separate with, like, with you guys talk, you know, a guy can have a weak back, or, you know, bodybuilding shows win by the back. A bikini girl isn't going to lose because she has bad calves or a bad back, you know, so it's really up in the air. It's depending on what the judges want to see, who brings that presentation. It's all about overall package with bikini and setting the tone for what the judges want to see for next year, and then that's how they'll choose their champions tonight. And it's going to be close. I got my eye on who I think, but again, it's top 2, basically what it comes down to.
Well, the bikini division has grown, as has pretty much anything that has to do with Olympia weekend. It's become a very multifaceted, multi-layer weekend. Robin Chang and his team here at the Olympia have really created something extraordinary, and it's been such a thrill to be a part of this. Tonight is going to be historic, whichever way you slice it. We're either going to crown an Olympia champion, an 8-time Olympia champion for only the 3rd time, or Sean, we're going to crown a brand new champion. Any thoughts before we start the show?
Well, I saw Lee Haney roaming around. Totally, Lee Haney is here to witness history. I'm not so sure that he's cheering for anybody in particular. He's sharing that title and that resume with Ronnie Coleman. I don't know if there's room enough for 3, but Phil left the door wide open for that to not happen for him, but should he join that elite group, he's earned the right to be there.
All right, stick around. Our coverage from Las Vegas is just getting started here. 2018 Olympia weekend. We're back after the break. Welcome to a special presentation of Joe Weider's Olympia weekend. Dan Solomon along with Sean Ray, and we're about to begin what should be a very compelling night here in the world of bodybuilding, fitness, and physique and bikini competition. It is Olympia night, a weekend we have waited a while for, and Sean, I'm going to let you give us a sense for what's in store tonight as the 2018 Olympia Finals, the Saturday night event, is set to begin.
Well, Dan, it started back in 1965 when a crown and $1,000 prize money presented by Joe Weider went to Larry Scott, who would go on to win the 1966 Olympia as well. The Cuban, Sergio Oliva, would come in to win 3 from 67, 68, and 69. Then we saw the Austrian Oak, Arnold Schwarzenegger, come all the way from Austria to win his first of what would be a 6-straight-year run to 1975, where his training partner in 76, Franco Colombo, would win his first of 2 Mr. Olympia titles. And then we saw the symmetry in Frank Zane. He would win 77, 78, and 79. Arnold would come out of retirement and win his 7th and final Olympia in 1980. And then in 1981, his training partner, Franco Colombo, would win his 2nd Sandow Trophy. And then in 1982, we saw the oldest Mr. Olympia, Chris Dickerson, at 43 years old, win his one and only title. And of course, the Lion from Lebanon in 1983 would be Samir Banu. Lee Haney would win his first Olympia in 1984 and rattle off 8 in a row, retiring in 1991. In the 92, Dorian Yates from England would win 6 in a row, retiring in 97. Then came Ronnie Coleman and rattled off 8 consecutive titles before he lost to Jay Cutler, who would win 4. And Dexter Jackson would squeeze off 1 victory. And then we came to the gift. He won his first Olympia in 2010 and win the next 7 consecutive years, which brings us to tonight.
And you're looking at the scene backstage in the pump-up room as the guys get ready to take the stage and do their final tune-ups before they perform their routines. Our MC tonight, of course, will be Bob Ciccarello. He'll make his way to the podium momentarily, but they are filing in here in Las Vegas. This is the biggest night of the year in professional bodybuilding. History will be made one way or another. We will either crown a new Olympia, only the 14th in the contest history, or Phil Heath will retain the title and establish, won't establish a new record, will equal the long-standing record of Ronnie Coleman and Lee Haney. So a lot to talk about tonight. Of course, James Flex Lewis is here. He's trying to win the 212 title for the 7th time. Angelica Teixeira in the Bikini Olympia division is trying to repeat and defend her title. You're looking at Dexter Jackson. We call him the 8th wonder of the world, almost 49 years old, still in tremendous shape. He's here trying to secure another spot in the top 5 as he walks past Wooly Winkler, a guy who had a very impressive showing last night in the preliminary judging. And the great thing about Dexter Jackson, Sean, is he's always having a good time.
Listen, he knows he's in the twilight of his career, so he's soaking it all in. But with a body like that, he's still in the hunt. He's in the fight. He's one of the top bodybuilders in the world, still striving and surviving. These guys have come from all over, from the Czech Republic, Puerto Rico, United Kingdom, Canada, the Netherlands, as far away as Egypt, and of course with Roller Winkler, Curacao. We've got plenty of guys representing the USA. This is an international competition, to be sure. There's Nathan Diaz, who came all the way from England. He's starting to pick up steam, and we see the return of the King Snake. From Texas, Steve Kuklo is in the house.
Well, you know, it's really an epic night, and we're going to watch this thing play out as we set to begin the show. We're going to hear from, I'm told, American Media Chief Executive Officer David Becker. He will step to the podium. I'm told there are some celebrities in the house tonight, so we'll try to point those out as we identify them. But we're going to go ahead and send it off to the stage as we begin the 2018 Mr. Olympia. Never change, including the Olympia theme song, which of course echoes throughout the Orleans Arena each and every year at this time, and you can kind of feel the anticipation beginning to build.
Absolutely. In the absence of the late Joe Weider, along with his brother Ben, and in the presence of the new feature film, Bigger, Dan, watching their love story, the passion they had for bodybuilding, the origins of where it came from, two poor guys growing up in Canada, $8, creating the Weider publishing machine, and then giving birth to the equipment and the supplements and the Olympia competition through the Mr. Universe champions, the American national champions. Here we are, some 54 years later, still doing the business in their absence. They have laid the groundwork for what we're about to share in this weekend.
Can't say enough about the stage set, the production value that Robin Chang and his team at American Media and the Olympia team have done to kind of continue to raise the bar. And we're going to let the show begin.
Olympia Fitness and Performance Weekend, presented by Midway Labs, webcast by iHerb and Muscle Farm. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem.